All right, guys, how's it going? Joao Neves. You may have recalled that during the last few weeks, we've seen reports in Portugal from multiple media outlets claiming that Liverpool had inquired about his availability, the digits involved in possibly making something happen. A player that's been, mooted with us on and off for a while, really. One that I've been monitoring. Do you know what I mean? I watch everything, to be honest with you, but there's certain players that I like to keep an eye on, especially with the overseas media in Portugal and things like that. And I do have someone that communicates with me on a regular basis to do with Portuguese claims when Liverpool are mentioned. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Things that are claimed in Portugal associated to Liverpool, and this person communicates with me. So basically, the latest turn of events is that PSG have apparently made him a primary target. Like the man that they want to sign, or if you want to call him a man, he's a teenager, but you know what I mean, a young man. And it's claimed that he's already agreed terms with them verbally, so not set in stone, but all them initial queries, what sort of money would you be looking for, blah, 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 obviously via the agent. Now, Benfica, the release clause that would have to be paid to Benfica is 120 million euros, which I will convert 120 million euros to pounds. It's around the 100, isn't it? We've done this before. 101 million pounds would be required to get him released from his contract. However, the latest suggestions are that Benfica are willing, or would be willing, or they understand that they might have to negotiate down from that amount. And it would appear that PSG believe that they can get him for 75 million euros, or would be willing to pay around 75 million euros, which is just over 63 million pounds. Now, again, are we going to get Liverpool fans coming out going, too much money for a 19-year-old? Because we've seen the Lenny Oro stuff, too much money for him, blah, blah, blah. We are now on the 19th of July, and the suggestion is regarding PSG's interest here, that talks are ongoing. That's when they say talks are ongoing, that's going to be in terms of negotiating that release clause down, right? And those involved, in the whole thing, seem to think that that there'll be huge progress on this front over the next week or so, 2 weeks, basically this month. So a little bit disappointing, to be honest with you, to be hearing things like that. This is a player that, I think most of us would give anything to have at Liverpool. Maybe Liverpool are powerless if he wants to go to PSG. I don't know. You end up starting making excuses, and you fall into this bullshit of having your expectations managed. You think of players like Nico Williams, and straight away that Liverpool won't fucking do that because your expectations have been managed. We never used to be like that when we were Liverpool fans when we were younger. Liverpool would be in there. Like, listen, whatever your age is, right? Before we had all this outside, ownership, if you like. I prefer saying outside rather than foreign because it makes it sound like you've got a problem with foreigners. But foreign to me, when it comes to ownership, means people that are not football fans, right? So foreign ownership, outside ownership, whatever you want to call it. Back in the day, Liverpool, if the best players became available, Liverpool were in there. They didn't fuck around with all this like, oh, it's too much money to... Nah, that's not how it worked, So our expectations back in the day was that we expected Liverpool to compete with Real Madrid, with Manchester United, for the star players. It didn't necessarily mean you'd always get them because there are many factors, right? It could be that maybe a player doesn't want to go and play in the northwest of England. He might want to go and play in sunny Spain, for example. Do you know what I mean? Or there might be, various cultural reasons or whatever. But Liverpool, I'm telling you right now, when we were Liverpool fans, when we were younger and before all this shit, if you get upset about that Liverpool don't chase the star players, it's because you've allowed yourself to accept that. and become more of an accountant than you have a football supporter. Because you shouldn't give a fuck how much the club are paying for someone. That ain't your problem. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fortunate that, you know, I was supporting Liverpool through a time when the star players became available and we would be in there, you know? So it does get a little bit disappointing, but we've allowed those expectations to be managed. And if you remember, when I went to Boston, when Nesby, as they were called at the time, when I went deep undercover, do you remember my little secret videos and that? The one thing, what did I say? This is before we even knew these people, was the people of Boston were saying they'll be good owners, you know, they'll want Liverpool to win, they're ruthless, but they will manage your expectations. And that was the one thing I remember coming back all them years ago and saying, well, this is what I've been told, guys. They'll manage our expectations. They'll manage your expectations, so you'll be programmed into, well, no, we can't do that. We don't do that. This is what we do. Do you know what I mean? And it's fucking right, isn't it? It's right. Do you remember when I was doing the, what was it? I used the same chauffeur company that FSG use and their partners and that. And I had the camera, do you remember the hidden camera in the thing? And I think the video's still on here. And he said about John Henry, he went, he's ruthless. Do you remember? That's good, man. I enjoyed it. Good times, happy times. Anyway, so I'm sure, you know, you might be a little bit disappointed to hear, but, you know, PSG, you know, at the end of the day, we can manage expectations as much as you want, but PSG maybe have a bit more financial clout than our lot. But there you go, there you go. So we expect it. There we go. Our expectations are managed. Maybe we should be turning around and saying it's about time they fucked off and get someone in like that owns PSG. Then, do you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're not even talking we're not talking hundreds of millions of pounds. 60 million was it? But if he wants to go out there, then what can we do about it? But that's the latest regarding him. And as far as I'm aware this morning, there's no mention of anything to do with Neves and Liverpool in Portugal. But you know what? I will come back to this 1 second, guys. I've just got that many different fucking bits of information on my phone. Oh, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I'm off to the gym in a minute, don't laugh. I don't know. What I was going to say was, and I don't know if this is just me trying to delude myself or believe it like most Liverpool fans do. Stay calm, do you know what I mean? Like, we have to chill. We've got 6 weeks left. There's no way in the world they're not going to do anything. And they only need to make one substantial signing, and it changes the mood, you know. Go and get me an Arcio. You know, that's someone that I've been watching for ages, that's been in with us forever. You know, deliver me an Arcio, and then I won't give a fuck about some of these other players. And I think you'd agree with me. So yes, it's frustrating, but we can't make a ruling until the window's closed. So yeah, you know, Manchester United, you know, making great progress. You know, they've added 2 great players already for their squad for pre-season. You know, for their tour. They're you know, they're getting them players in ready early and ready. Liverpool, we've got this like, oh, you know, they're going to play on this needing to assess the squad shit. You know what I mean? We should be getting players in to go on our pre-season tour. But I don't know. I can see, I'm with you. I've got all the emotions, you know what I mean? Disappointed, worried. But also, you've got to have that sense in your mind that says there's 6 weeks left. You know, one good fucking signing and everyone will be like buzzing. You know, and the mood was like this last year. And then they went in for Caicedo and everyone was like, oh, fucking hell, serious business. You know what I mean? So the mood can change very quickly. So don't allow yourself to be too stressed at the moment with it. Don't. Let's just see. We have no choice but to see. But you know what? I feel like a record. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck like a stuck record. Because I feel like I say this every fucking year. Does my head in. Anyway, speak to you in a bit. If you appreciate the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button and I'll give you a shout out tomorrow morning. No stream this afternoon, but there'll be one at 7 o'clock this evening, all being well. Tomorrow we're doing Saturday night streaming at 7:30 on here. We'll have some tunes on and a few sherbets and that. All right, guys, keep the faith.